Captain America the Winter Soldier is easily regarded as one of the best MCU movies, but after all this time, is it still that good? Spoiler alert, it is. Regardless, we will still find out in just a second, but before we do so, thank you for clicking on this video. This is CertainVids, a channel where we like to talk anything and everything movies, a lot, and this is my review of Captain America the Winter Soldier. Let's begin. What is good, CV Nation? Welcome back to another upload. Today we are going to be discussing Captain America the Winter Soldier, but before I give you my thoughts on this film, jump down into the comment section below and let me know what you think about this movie. Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you just in the middle on it? How does this compare to the two other Captain America movies that we have, as well as all the other MCU movies? And with that down, let's jump right into it. So, no backstory for this one. I've kind of always been amazed by this film, by what the Russo brothers were able to accomplish, the way they took this character of Captain America and kind of rejuvenated him into this action spy hero, and I think this has really stuck with the character moving forward in the MCU, because it was this movie that kind of showed audiences how cool Captain America could be. Obviously Chris Evans plays in that because he's awesome, but it was the direction of this character and this movie that kind of changed everything, and that is why so many people do love this movie, and that means myself included. Rewatching this film, it was like my fourth or fifth time, and I was still amazed by some of the things that they were able to do. However, I want to start off by talking about the theme, because so many people say Marvel movies don't have memorable music. However, I would like to disagree with that, because the theme in this film just freaking rocks. It's definitely feels like a political thriller spy kind of theme, but it's a Marvel-like theme. It feels like a superhero theme, but it's more of like an action theme, you know? It's very fast-paced, kind of jumpy, and it is freaking awesome. I can't believe how overlooked the music in this movie is, because it's honestly quite spectacular. This theme gets me so hyped up. I mean, I would totally work out to a theme like this. In fact, I probably will now that I'm thinking about it, because the theme is just so freaking cool. Another thing I really appreciate about this film is that it has very little connections to the outside MCU. There's a couple of mentions of Stark, and maybe some little references here and there, you know, name dropping Stephen Strange, who is obviously Doctor Strange, but other than that, not many connections. And me saying that's a positive may seem a little bit weird, but just hear me out. When you have little connections, you basically operate as a standalone film. You don't really think of yourself as a franchise entry. That's not what it is. This movie is not an entry into a franchise, even though it technically is. By all means, when you watch the movie, you could pluck it out of the MCU, just have it sit by itself, and it would still work perfectly fine. The story completely revolves around Captain America. It revolves completely around Black Widow, around Nick Fury, around the Winter Soldier, around Falcon. It's these core characters, you know, this little Steve Rogers and his ragtag group of friends, basically, who are trying to take down Hydra within S.H.I.E.L.D., who has infiltrated S.H.I.E.L.D., and you don't really feel the missing heroes. Because a common problem people associate with shared cinematic universes is that when you have a standalone film, people are going to wonder, where are all the other heroes? If Iron Man exists in the same universe as Captain America, why doesn't he show up to help Captain America out like he does in the Avengers movies? Well, you don't really feel that in this film. You feel like Captain America can actually like take care of the situation. His team is strong enough and it has a good enough foundation that they can work together to take down Hydra. And that common problem that is associated with cinematic universes, it doesn't really feel like it's a problem here. So many people have talked about the fight choreography. It is so innovative and so thrilling and engaging. I cannot do it justice by just speaking about it. I mean, I will literally just play a short clip for you. Please don't copyright me, YouTube. I will literally play a clip for you just so you can see how amazing it is, because me talking won't do it justice. It is top notch. It is something you don't see in any other MCU movie, and it is just seriously so cool. I'm done talking about it. Just watch another clip. However, the biggest plus I have for this film is the moment till the end of the line.
Then finish it. 'Cause I'm with you to the end of the line.
It is probably one of my favorite MCU moments, and for good reason, because it is one of those moments that is so chilling to watch. It's one of those full circle things, you know, something touched on earlier in the film comes back around at the end, and I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. At the beginning of the film, or not at the beginning, in the middle of the film, you see a moment where Steve is thinking about a time from his past, and it was when Bucky and him were talking, and Bucky says,
"I'm with you to the end of the line, pal."
That moment may not mean that much when you first watch it, like when you're watching the film through, that moment doesn't really mean that much. I mean, it's a nice touching sentiment, but it doesn't really mean all that much when you're watching it. But then when the ending comes around and Steve's like, "I'm not gonna fight you, you're my friend," and he says, "I'm with you till the end of the line," that's when the connection happens, and I'm getting chills right now. I swear, it's not even that cold in my house. I'm getting chills just thinking about it because it is so freaking awesome. And I swear, I gotta make a video about my favorite MCU moments because I have mentioned so many of them that it's honestly past due at this point. But that moment is seriously, it just works so well from a filmmaking standpoint, and I cannot believe how amazing it is, how cool it is. It's not that much spectacle. It's not anything, you know, visually impressive. It's just a dialogue moment that really hits you in the feels. And the entire movie is kind of about Steve and Bucky's friendship. Like every single Captain America movie, it's about the friendship between these two people. And that's where the human element comes in. That's where the movie really feels human. It doesn't feel like you're watching, you know, the super soldier just fighting people. It feels like, you know, he's an actual person with actual feelings and actual relationships. And, you know, the same thing with him and Peggy, that scene at the beginning, that scene also has so much meaning, and it's really those human elements in Marvel movies that elevate them to the top of superhero cinema. However, I just mentioned the dialogue a little bit, and if I had to nitpick this film apart, which I'm going to do because you know me, if I had to do that, the pacing can kill it a little bit at times. There are just some moments where the dialogue, it kind of brings the movie to a grinding halt. You want to get back to the fast-paced, thrilling story, but there are some dialogue moments, and this is like another nitpick, just a very, very small one. It can get a little iffy, you know, you just don't really feel it. The dialogue, it doesn't really kind of grasp at you, whereas there are multiple moments where it's very, very witty, and it's one of those, you know, like smirky types of comments, you know, that is just filled. This film is loaded with that kind of stuff, but there are just like one or two moments that I was just like, okay, dialogue could have been improved just a little bit more. It's a nitpick, it's a huge nitpick. I know I'm being very, very pretentious by nitpicking these things apart, but it's just something I noticed. It's nothing to, like, you know, give it a B+ for. It's a fantastic film. It's a phenomenal film. Very well directed. Fight choreography is top notch. And with all of that being said, I'm going to have to give Captain America: The Winter Soldier an A with 2 thumbs up and 5 out of 5 amusement stars. It's seriously that good, guys. The 5 out of 5 amusement stars. This is such an entertaining film. You know, it's got that Marvel humor and obviously the On Your Left, which is going to have a lot of meaning later down the line, but the On Your Left, it's funny in this film too. There's just a lot of entertainment value to be found. The 2 thumbs up, I don't know what you're doing if you haven't seen this film yet. I'm pretty sure every single person watching this video has. Do watch it again. Watch it again. It's a great film, and the best part about it is that even though it doesn't have too many connections to the outside MCU, it does have a lot of consequences, and I'm a big, you know, I need consequences in films, especially superhero films. There are a lot of consequences that are going to be played out in future MCU movies, mainly Civil War, and they're all Winter Soldier is the cause of all of that, so even though it isn't connected too heavily, it's gonna have a lot of connections to other movies later down the road. And the A, you know me, I gotta nitpick just a little bit. It's still not A+ territory for me, but it's kind of stuck at in this A grade area for quite a while now, and I can't really see it going down. However, guys, those are just going to be my thoughts. The important thing is, let me know in the comment section below, what do you think about The Winter Soldier? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Are you just in the middle on it? Do you have an unpopular opinion with this movie? I do know a couple of people that do, but not that many, so feel free to enlighten me in the comments. If you did go on to enjoy this video, click that like button. It helps out. Click the subscribe button as well as that notification bell so you stay up to date on all future content. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I will see you in the next one. Until then, have a great rest of your day and stay positive.